And I always had a huge ick with nail files because one of my horrors is just someone torturing me by nail filing until there's no nail left, and then they keep going. That is one of my biggest. Anytime I think of a nail file, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. You just want to punch someone because it's terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 25, the quarter mark of our podcast. We're back after a break of 4 weeks.
Yeah, because the audience will know it's a break. We skipped an episode. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I got the end of school. We have lives to live.
I went to Florida. I went to WrestleMania. I got a life outside of this, guys. I'm sorry.
Yes, there's a lot going on, but luckily summer's coming up. I'm gonna have some. I mean, I'll be working, but I'll have some more free time. I'll be home.
Yeah.
And we'll get some good episodes coming out. But we do right now. So let's focus on now. Episode 25, we have first our childhood video game rankings.
Top 5 video games from our childhood.
Yes,
this isn't a draft. We're just going to start 5, going down to 1. We're going to share.
The key word for me is childhood. Because I do not really play video games anymore. Oh, I forgot a video game I just thought of.
I'll fill in as you think. People ask me all the time, like, am I a gamer? And, like, I'm like, not really, like, today. But when you think about your childhood, I've thought about so many games that just make me happy. And I have 10 written down, so choosing my top 5 was hard. But I think I've got a list put together. And Garrett just thought of one. I'm curious to hear about which one that is.
I just put this list together. And as I was speaking, a big game just slapped me across the face.
Okay.
So now I got 2 honorable mentions because as much as I don't want to put it on the list, you have to. And I think just so I can get it off my chest, I'll put it at number 5. It very well could be higher on the list, but I think since this is the most recent video game, I'm not going to give it too much love because I'm thinking more childhood, which is younger. But number 5 is Fortnite.
Oh, my. You said I thought about Fortnite.
Look,
yeah.
You cannot beat the 2020 Fortnite days. That is probably the number 1 in terms of, like, the peak.
The COVID-19 pandemic was tragic. It's a shame what happened, but we were in our junior year of high school just having a blast, staying up till 4 a.m. playing Fortnite.
Yeah,
Those were the days.
It's tough because it really isn't. I mean, it is our childhood. It's still high school.
It's not on my list, but yeah.
I didn't think of it just because of the childhood aspect at first, but just because of how peak it was, and obviously there's. I
didn't even like playing Fortnite, but
yeah,
we had like 12 to 15 guys on. It felt like probably not.
Yeah,
15.
You weren't as big into Fortnite. I remember at one point, like, it would hurt your eyes after a game playing on your brother's PC.
That was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I tried getting back into it, and I got nauseous from the screen.
Yeah, it has some drawbacks. Like I don't know much about Fortnite now, like the different seasons or whatever. But at some point, it just got like overused. You had like the 9-year-old kids ruining it and stuff. But just singling out peak Fortnite, it's probably the highest of highs in terms of video games for me.
Highest of highs. Holy.
Probably. But since it has the drawbacks, since it doesn't necessarily fit the childhood, plus Fortnite, the reason it was great was because you played with your friends. Yeah. And when I also think of childhood video games, you're not playing with other. If you're playing with other people, it's in the same household. It's not online.
I played with my brother on a lot of these.
Yeah, so Fortnite is mainly great because of the other people you're playing with in terms of online. But the game itself probably isn't it's a good game, but I think with these games being ones I could play by myself and have a blast with, they deserve to be ahead.
If Peter Griffin came out during 2020 when Fortnite was going on, that could be a number 1 right there.
It's a good point.
But it's off my list because I think all the games on my list, I played them when I was younger than 10. So this is like true childhood.
When were you 10? Is that second grade?
2013.
What grade is 10?
I think
gauge.
3rd grade or 4th grade.
3rd or 4th?
Yeah, because I was 5 in kindergarten.
I would agree. What was your? Did you say your number 5?
No, I didn't even say my number 5 yet.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
I'll
it.
say my number 5. This game came out before I was born, and it was meant for the original Xbox, which I didn't even have. We had the Xbox 360,
Okay.
but the game still worked on it.
Yes, but before you say it,
Are you gonna take a guess?
No. But if you say a game that's on my list, should I spoil where it's at on my list, or just pretend it's not on my list until we get there?
Pretend it's not on your list. for now.
Okay.
I'm going with Simpsons Road Rage.
A lot of people love that game. I never had it as a kid.
I wasn't even that good at it, but it's just the fact that I was 5 years old driving around in this like open world Springfield, picking up Homer Simpson, picking up Mayor Chief Wiggums or whatever. I don't even
West.
know their names.
Oh no, is Mayor? Oh,
Mayor
West
West is Family Guy, yeah.
yeah.
But Chief Wiggums and the fat comic book guy, and I was just you got to pick the car you could drive around in, so it was the pink Cadillac thing. It just felt like a vibe. You got to drive through like the signs and drive up to the school.
Yeah, it's GTA for kids. I mean,
Basically,
what's not to love
yeah.
about that?
So Simpsons Road Rage.
That's a good pick. There's a few games, like for example, Wii Sports Resort. I never grew up having that as a kid in my household. So there's some big games that I
didn't
never owned.
appreciate it when I was a kid. Although my go-to was the wakeboarding. Is that what it was? When like you're skiing on a boat.
I just know whenever
was
I was
so good
at
at
Ben's
that.
house and he had Wii Sports Resort, I'm like, this
Basketball.
is. I don't like how new this is. I like the OG Wii Sports.
Oh yeah.
It's very iconic, but just another one of those games I never had growing up. But number 4, it's tough because I did love this as a kid, and it's also one that I actually played not too long ago, and it's one you can play. You can still play it now and have fun with your friends. You played it when you were a kid, and that's Mario Kart Wii.
I thought about putting that. I left it off because it's just as it hits the same today. It's just as good.
Yeah,
today.
it's another one of those that hits the same today. Yes, the next 3 I have are ones I played when I was young, and that's about it. But Mario Kart Wii was obviously good then, but it's on here because obviously shout out Ryan F, who's a GOAT at Mario Kart Wii. He's like top 10 in 2 tracks, and there's this
in
like
the world. Don't
Yeah.
don't tread lightly with that. He is top 10 in the world.
something
He's
like
competing with guys in Japan. He's that good.
Yeah, so there's like this I forget what it's called, like, but basically it's online Mario Kart and there's mods and stuff in there.
That's insane.
I remember I drove over to his house during COVID, put an SD card on his porch, had him and his dad like put that Mario Kart thing on the SD card for me. I drove home, put it in, and then boom, I had custom tracks. I could play online with them. And that was
way ahead of its
like
time.
during COVID as well. So
Yeah.
So Mario Kart is good in the past, good now. Similar to Fortnite, but obviously was out in like 2006. So, yeah, Mario Kart.
At my number 4, I have a zombie game that I just remembered as I arrived at your house. It's called Left 4 Dead 2. Do you remember that at all?
Is that one of the games where it's like their hand as the cover?
Yeah. This is the yellow one. The first one is green. I never played the first one, but this is the yellow one. All I remember about it is you could play as 4 characters. This big, fat African-American coach. His name was Coach. Then there was like a gangster guy named Matt. Then there was like the redneck guy that had like a baseball cap and he had like a beard. I always liked being that guy. And then there was the girl. No one really wanted to be the girl. But yeah, it was just awesome. And they had all these maps where like you shoot the zombies on the highway or in a hotel. It was really scary too. It was so scary as a kid. But I liked it because me and my brother would play this one map where you're at like a concert. So you're on the stage just mowing down zombies and stuff. And you get to use the guitar as like a weapon and stuff. That was just a good example of just playing with my brother. That was a good time.
Yeah, that game just scared me seeing it at GameStop.
And even the trailer. I remember the trailer when I was a kid. Like, it felt like a straight-up movie. But
yeah, I know nothing about the game. Only memory is seeing it on the walls of GameStop being
Yeah.
like, people are that evil to play those M-rated games?
yeah.
Like, that's a
We were living on the
bloody
edge,
hand
man.
on it.
I don't know how old I must have been playing that. I was scared of it for the longest time. But I think that kick-started my love for like zombies and stuff. Left 4 Dead 2 on the Xbox 360.
I don't even know how old I got until I was allowed to play like shooting games and stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't like super old, but probably up until like 6th grade, I wasn't touching that stuff.
I never like Well, I don't want to spoil my picks, but
Yeah.
me and my
Because
brothers
I
had a
remember
lot
when I
different
was young.
taste.
Actually, yeah, I can't spoil any of mine either. We'll just keep
All
going.
right, you're number 3.
Pick number 3. This is where it gets just pure iconic, like iconic games here. Ones that you played in your childhood, you didn't have online. They were just good games you could play with friends or by yourself. And that is Lego Star Wars Complete Saga.
Yeah, that was good times, man.
That's
That's complete. So that was prequels too.
prequels,
Yeah,
yes.
prequels and
That
the
is the
original.
one that I grew up playing on.
I hated the prequels as a kid. I always wanted to get straight to like the Dagobah level and stuff with Yoda.
See, I was young where I thought like the prequels and the
Oh,
the
yeah.
original trilogy were like, I didn't really understand when they came out and stuff. I just saw that as like what Star Wars was.
No,
to me,
Lego
that
Star
was
Wars is
OG.
iconic, man. Credit where credit's due.
Just a good game. Had to be there.
My number 3. All of these are iconic, man. Absolutely heavy hitters. I almost feel guilty forgetting to talk about this video game before you do, because it's got to be in your top 2. Another game
Well-
where it started on the Xbox, yet it worked just as well on the Xbox 360. My number 3 is Tony Hawk Underground.
And since that's your number 3 and I have the number 2 pick next, yeah, that is my number 2.
Such a good game. It broke the law of physics where you could skateboard on power lines for whatever reason. I spent over half of it building my own skate parks. I remember. I like
Yeah.
that. I like the one that had the loop-de-loop. I would just cover my park in like the loop-de-loop ones, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah, since it's my number 2, we can both add to it. Tony Hawk Underground, that added to like in second grade, that's when I started to become like edgy, but I was still so innocent that I
Yeah.
didn't know what it meant to be like a bad kid.
No.
So Tony Hawk Underground was like that teen rated game where I felt like I was starting to mature, starting to be like a
Yeah.
bad boy.
Tony
Once in a
Hawk.
while they'd say like, I don't know, like DAMN, and I was like, oh!
Tony Hawk was like he was the hero for every like second grade kid. And Tony Hawk Underground is the game. I remember then he came out with a skating game where like it came with like a skateboard controller. Do you remember that? Like it had like a skateboard that you were supposed to like stand on and it would be a part of
it's
the
like
game.
Ice Skate or something. I don't know.
I got that for Christmas. It
That
was
was
the dumbest thing
terrible.
ever. Yeah.
I was just like, how do I do a flamingo triple kickflip on this thing?
yeah.
Like,
I wish I
want the
could rewatch
unrealistic-
myself doing this. The most unathletic kid.
Yeah, the best. Yeah, Tony Hawk Underground was just so unrealistic. To me, like since it's top 2, it has to be inspiring. So it was very inspiring to me based off of how I dressed in second grade, how I acted. I wouldn't smile in any photos in second grade
Dang.
because Tony Hawk Underground was underground.
Yeah.
You got the intro with like the monster eating the skater. Like it was.
I don't even remember that. I just remember.
You have like the pothole in the grounds and it like pulls them into the.
Oh yeah.
yeah, like it was deep, man. It was deep.
I just remember like skateboarding like in the sky, like you're on top of a bridge or you're on top of a power line skateboarding. I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, you got like escaping the cops. I remember I finally got to the age where I realized New Jersey wasn't the only place in the story mode that you could be in. You could like there was like a bunch of others, so then I had to beat the game. Dang, yeah, just such an influential game for who I was at the time. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So that was your number 2. My number 3. My number 2 is it just hits home. It's not a number 1, but it's a good number 2. And you had Lego Star Wars. My number 2,
Yeah.
not what you think. It's still Star Wars. It's Battlefront 2.
Okay, I know you said we were saving honorable mentions, but Battlefront 1 and 2 were my honorable
I don't
mentions.
think I ever played
I think-
Battlefront 1.
I think 1 is my favorite. I think the first one was my favorite.
I don't remember 1, but 2 had the stormtrooper, the clone trooper on the cover with the gun, I know.
They both
And it was like red and
do.
blue.
Yeah, I think the one that's my favorite, the loading screen goes.
Yeah.
So is that the second one or the first one?
That's the second one I know.
Maybe
but-
it is the second one I like more. I don't remember. I don't know. They came out like a year apart from each other, so either 1 or 2 is my favorite. I don't
so
remember.
good though. And
Um,
they made new Battlefront games since, and they're fun, but I mean the graphics are way better than they were in Battlefront 2, but original Xbox Battlefront 2, it's just like it was amazing. And I never even got to play as like the the special characters like Darth Vader or Yoda or whatever. Most of the
Yeah.
time I was just like a crappy stormtrooper, but
Yeah.
they had the Dagobah levels where you go down into like the hidden like parts where you can go into like Yoda's house, and the Hoth levels and Endor where they like hide like little Easter eggs and like hidden parts of the map you can hide out at.
Yeah.
I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
I just liked when it was 100v100, but you only had so much of an impact.
Oh yeah.
That's what I did most of the time. It's like you had to carry your team to win because most of it's just CPUs killing CPUs. But if you had 25 kills and 3 deaths, I mean, you should probably get the win. But very good. That was one I was really battling with. I actually had that at 5, and I kicked it out for Fortnite just because of the peak of Fortnite, man.
Yeah.
But in terms of if we're going before high school days, then yeah, Battlefront's on there.
So if your number one isn't Lego Star Wars, or Tony Hawk Underground, what's your number one?
So this game, since you don't know what it is, I got to build it up here.
Okay.
So there's a lot of key factors into how I determine this. You have probably the most important is how influential it was, how fun it was, how long I played it for. So you have influential. Second, third, fourth grade, I played this game for. Now these are games you normally play for like 9 months and then you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
But I played it for 3 years. I'm just gonna give it up. This is the best 2K of all time. NBA 2K11.
Wow.
I was looking up childhood games and I saw like a sports tier list. Or no, it was like $5, $4, $3, and you had to pick one from each. And NBA 2K11 was the $5 tier, as it should be. Easily the best 2K. People don't want to give it credit because online didn't exist yet, but it came out with My Player.
That was the first My Player?
It was the second year, but the first year it was good.
Dang.
And they had like the Jordan challenges. I mean, I still love Jordan to this day.
Who was on the cover for that one?
Michael Jordan, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was so good. The next year, they also put Jordan on the cover.
Dang. What?
Back-to-back years of Jordan.
That might have been why you're Team Jordan in the GOAT debate.
It has to be.
Because of the younger influence that
Yeah.
had on you.
Yeah, when they came out with 2K14 and LeBron was on it, I'm like, get this scrub out of here.
Do you remember any songs from the soundtrack?
Oh, there's so many. That's another part. The songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good songs.
Well, I'm asking you. What are some of the songs?
You have Over by Drake.
How does that one go?
I don't want to get copyright here.
Okay. I'll give it a
It's not
search
gonna
for
happen
it.
anyways. But you have like just the Bulls like intro song, which is super iconic.
Yeah.
There's I'm terrible with the names on the spot. I think like I Can Talk is one. Symphonies is one.
Symphony sounds familiar.
I think it's by Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi was. I don't think he was relevant in 2000. Like
I don't know.
whenever 2K11 was made, I don't think Kid Cudi existed yet.
Maybe not. I don't even know. There's a few others I have on my playlist now, but the music was there. Look, I didn't think a 2K or Madden will be on here just because of how repetitive they can be and like how bad they've kind of become. I don't play them anymore. I don't really play video games anymore.
I've never been into 2K. Yeah.
But from 2nd to 4th grade, basketball was my favorite sport. I was heavily influenced. I remember walking the halls. I would be practicing my jumper. I'd be pretending to slam dunk all the time. Just basketball was huge for me at that time, and I played.
I recognize you as a basketball guy when I saw you in Lorraine. You had the basketball
I'd wear
shorts.
like headbands. Yeah, basketball
shorts.
Jerseys.
You wore headbands, and you weren't even at recess yet. It's like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, and I played it for 3 years. Like I had John Wall as a rookie for 3 years when he was an all-star.
Yeah.
By the time, so stuff like that. And I remember My Player, I didn't realize you could upgrade him. So for like 2 years, I was just playing as like a 60 overall. And then out of nowhere, I like could put him up to a 99 because I saved up so many points. So that was a good day. Just making my guy like a 99 slam dunk champion out of nowhere.
You bringing up 2K just brought an honorable mention to my head, and that's Madden Mobile. Like
Phone
man.
game. I didn't even consider phone
I
games.
thought about some
but-
phone games. I thought about Madden Mobile. I thought about Jetpack Joyride, Rules of Survival. I ruled that out though because I thought we were too old for Rules of Survival. This is childhood.
Yeah,
But-
Rules of Survival, for those who don't know, is basically PUBG or Fortnite, but on the phone.
But you could like have audio chats with your friends on the phone as you did it. That was so much fun.
Those were good days, yeah. That is funny.
Anywho, I gotta drop my number one, and if you know me, you know I'm a loser. You know I love Batman. You know I like Legos. And so what do you have? You have Lego Batman.
Yeah, very
And-
good game. My second favorite Lego game, I will say.
Lego Star Wars is good, but it is no Lego Batman.
You were
Uh,
always a Batman guy,
Yeah.
which I can fully respect.
I love that game so much. I loved replaying it just to build up the coins to unlock the extra characters and stuff. And if you got a certain amount of coins, then you can unlock like special levels and stuff. And I had like the guide textbook where you like learned the cheat codes and whatnot for the book. It was amazing. I never invested so much brain power into a video game in my life. The second one's very good too. Lego Batman 2.
Yeah, there's like
Because
4 of
that's
them.
when like Superman gets involved and you got like a bunch more characters. But that was the first Lego game where they actually started speaking English.
Huh.
For like
Look at
Lego
that.
for
Look at
Lego
that.
Batman and Lego Star Wars though, it was all like mumble
Yeah.
jumbo. It was like
Which, like, all the death sounds.
yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
honestly was great.
Yeah.
There's videos out there of like every single death sound in Star Wars.
It's best in Star Wars, yeah, because you got all the aliens and stuff. R2D2. Yeah. But
Yeah, so iconic.
Lego
man.
Batman will always have a special place in my heart. All the Lego games I loved. Indiana Jones,
Indiana
Lego Rock
Jones is up
Band.
there. The Rock.
They made like a Marvel game that I was a
Yeah.
little old for that, but that was still a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
all of those you're naming are really good. Yeah, I had all those as a kid.
Yeah. So,
But some honorable mentions. I already mentioned Battlefront, and then you just have Wii Sports, one of the first
Wii Sports is
games
good.
that really were directed towards our early upbringing. Because you have like the Nintendo 64s and stuff, but I feel like we were too young for
Yeah.
those.
I was trying to find like a good Nintendo game or like just a DS game, and I had Scribblenauts as an honorable mention. You remember that?
No,
You don't know Scribblenauts?
I do not.
Scribblenauts was like when you were playing as like the kid with the notebook and the pencil, and you could like type in an image, type something down, and he would like create it with the magic of his pencil. Like if you wrote like pencil, he would make a pencil.
That's just reminding me of like Picno Chat, which
Well,
was goated on the bus.
I don't know. But I remember me and my brothers would always try to like stretch the rules of what was allowed in that game. So we would like type in some not so PG things, and we would type something in, and then like a hot dog would show up. We're like, hey, we don't want a hot dog. But
Yeah,
I
that
had
just
that.
reminds me of Picno Chat on the bus,
I
which
can't-
I just remember being blown away with the technology that it knew I
That's
was
like-
surrounded by other DSs.
I'm thinking of like when you could just draw on your DS.
That's Picno Chat, but somehow you could collaborate, and if
Oh, I
if
didn't
someone
know that.
submitted an image, it would pop up on
Dang.
yours.
Okay,
That was
wow.
like mind blowing
Yeah.
technology back in the day.
So I had that. I had Rabbits Go to the Moon. That was a Wii game. I had Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say that when you said zombies.
Oh,
That's the game
yeah.
that came
Plants
to mind.
vs.
That
Zombies
was
is
big
good.
back in the day.
Honestly, I was a little. I don't think I was smart enough to play that game as a kid. Because you had to be strategic.
Yeah,
with
when
Plants
someone got
vs.
to the final
Zombies.
level, I'm like, this guy is
Yeah.
insane.
But those are pretty much my options.
Yeah, some good games out there. There's so many to cover. We're gonna miss some. I will say real quick. I think for my favorite DS game, it would be Lego Rock Band. I remember being
DS,
really good.
wow.
I remember being
That's
really
DS.
good.
You don't even have like the instruments to play on.
Just
Okay.
I just remember being really good at it, or at least I thought.
Oh! DS, they.
This segment's never gonna end. You're getting
This
a
might
long
be the
episode
entire-
out of us.
Okay, we're taking off Simpsons Road Rage at number 5. We're putting in at the number 5 slot the Zack and Cody Sweet Life of Zack and Cody DS game.
I have no clue what that consists of.
Do you know the show?
Yeah, I never cared for
They
it.
had their own DS game, and I forget how it worked, but I just know you could like go into Mr. Mosby's hotel room, and he would have like a little side quest that you had to go on. That was so much fun, man.
There you go. A new number 5.
The DS, man. I was gonna say it's my favorite gaming console, but I don't think you can beat the Xbox 360. And then you think of the Wii. There were so many great consoles as
The
a kid.
Wii would have to be mine. Although my
So-
favorite 2 games are on the Xbox. Yeah, Xbox 360.
I think all of my picks were for the Xbox. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, Xbox and Wii. Yeah, because I didn't switch over to PS4 until.
The DS
Or
was so much
I didn't switch
fun, though.
over into PlayStation until the PS4.
Between playing Mario on the DS. My first Mario Kart game was for the DS, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Wii was my favorite one for that, though. But, I mean, it's a topic you can spend hours talking about.
yeah,
Just bringing back nostalgia. Everyone loves nostalgia. So, I mean, what's more nostalgic than childhood video games? Because that's all we did as a kid. I just played
Exactly.
video games and
Yeah.
watched TV. But anyways, we'll move on here because this is already kind of the length of our normal podcast. But that's fine. Doesn't take me any longer to edit, really. So we'll move into Ethan's topic.
I have a quick question. It shouldn't take too long, Garrett. So, this is what I wrote down. Typed it. I will read it as it's typed. Why do only men give their sons the same name as themselves? You hardly see a mom name her daughter after her. Like, why do you only see like
I've
Bobby
never-
Jr.? You
I've-
never see like Sally Jr. You know what I mean? Why is that?
I do know what you mean.
Is that saying that like men are? Is that putting pen to paper that boys are officially cooler than girls? Is that what it is?
Well, I can't come out and say that, but I think it has to go with just like Julius Caesar when he wanted like his kids to take over his throne. So like I don't know if he named his kid Julius Caesar Jr. Actually, I'm pretty sure he didn't, but I think it just comes with the same mental idea of like wanting the name to be passed down. And as a guy, since you carry the last name, you're the one who connects your first name to the last name.
That's not a bad point because the man keeps his last name.
I think that's the main
Okay.
thing because the
Wow.
girl can't control that. The guy, obviously, you got to rely on your kid
the
to
man
continue
keeps
the name.
last name. The man has to propose.
That's what it is more than
Yeah.
anything. I can see, and plus, normally when you do that, you have like the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. If you're a girl doing that, at the very most, you're getting junior, and that's all you're guaranteed. And it's not going to be the same last name. It'll be different last name
Yeah.
once they get married.
No, because you can keep like Bob Jones Jr. You can keep that name going forever because you'll always have Bob Jones Jr. Whereas if you have Sally Jones Jr., at best you get one generation, and then she becomes Sally Goletz Jr. and she loses it, man.
And then it's not a junior because it's the last name where you add the
Yeah.
junior and the 2nd or the 3rd and the 4th.
I think that's why.
That is why. I just answered your question.
Look at that.
Ah! But still, to your point, like, they still could name him, like, I don't know, Taylor Jr. and then...
What if?
Or you can just name him the same name.
What
I
if you
mean, I
have a
guess you could.
dad and his name is Ryan, and he names his daughter Ryan, and then his son Ryan too, just spelled differently?
That is not a
flex
good
that would
idea.
be.
One would be Rye, and the other one would be Ryan. But then, anytime I hear someone say a name that sounds similar to mine, I, like, perk up, and I'm like, oh, they said someone else. So if you had a kid named Rye and Ryan, every time you hear Ryan, you're going to think they're saying Rye until they, like, finish.
If I met someone that had 2 kids named Ryan and Riley, or vice versa, son and daughter, I'd be angry, and I'd be upset with that family.
A lot of people do
That's
do
not
names.
creative at all.
A lot of people.
I'm a man of alliteration, but you can't do the Rye and Rye.
Yeah, a lot of people do have, like, everyone in their family has the same starting letter. And then if there's 6 kids, chances are there's going to be a Jared and a Jarrett or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Jared and Jacob, Jared and Joe,
Yeah.
John, Joe's Juniper. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jupiter.
Jupiter. That is a cool name. Look at that. You going to name your kid Jupiter Granite
I'm
Countertop?
gonna name my kid Pluto.
He's going to live to be like 3.
Yeah. We lost old
He's not-
Pluto in the,
he's
in
either
the
gonna- he's
winter
ei-
of '99.
Yeah, he's either not going to live long or he's just going to be classified as like a cat and it won't be
Yeah.
a person.
He'll identify as a dog.
He's no longer a kid. But I'm glad that we officially cleared that up now, you know?
Yeah, I think we actually found the right answer too.
Yeah.
That's good.
But to still answer your question, more wives should name their kid the same name. Why not? It doesn't have to go on forever.
Yeah, come on, guys. Get
Just
in
why
on the
not?
party with us.
Just do it. Why not? But last up here, we have ranking randomness coming back. Well, actually, our last episode was a full episode of ranking.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
a
yeah.
full episode of randomness. So we're going to do it here. Next episode.
Ranking randomness. That's been the MVP of season 2 so far.
That's our favorite. Yeah, ego
Yeah.
meters disappeared. But yeah, I'll give you an update. Next episode will not have ranking randomness.
Oh, yeah.
But this one does, and we are ranking random objects. So we're using the same website, randomoutputs.com, and I'm just going to refresh the site, and it'll give me a random object.
And we'll rank them.
So,
So what are we going to do, 5 or 6?
we have always done 6.
Okay, let's
So-
do 6 then.
Okay, yeah, why not? I just wrote 1, 2, and 5 instead of 3. That's not a good start. All right.
And we are legally allowed to search what the object is if we don't know what it is.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
But just as an example,
I
the
don't know why I
last
had to say
one,
legally. Right.
the last one that came up, we're not using this, but it was face wash.
Oh, okay.
So just an idea of how random it can be. Next up here
So the first one?
is very similar, soap.
Soap. Okay, nice.
I don't see. That's the love of ranking randomness, is that you rank it based off how you want to rank it. It could be based off how useful it is, how much you like it. Really, could be based off of anything. So that's the joy of ranking randomness. And I don't know anyone else that does it really. So
This is our thing.
I would say
We
it's
gotta
our thing.
copyright it. Ranking randomness.
But next is nail file.
So like a nail file, like
Yeah.
to file your nails with.
Yeah, that is what a nail file is, sir.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
You had to I'm getting images, so I understand. You got to
Yeah.
clarify here. Balloon.
A balloon.
A singular balloon.
Ooh, that's.
But that is the thing here. These are singular objects, so you can't say like 80 balloons
So
is
we're
great.
doing like a bar of soap.
Yes,
Okay.
that is the image that showed up. Yes,
Okay.
a bar of soap. So since it's an object
Ooh,
generator,
okay.
it's singular, I think would be the way to put it. Blanket.
Two more.
Yes, 2 more. A glass,
For like.
this
glass
this
of
shows
water?
a picture of like a wine glass.
Oh. Okay.
So
But it says glass.
how would you categorize that then? Just any drinking glass?
Yeah.
All right, I think that's fair. And lastly, lipstick.
Okay.
All right, a good variety of random objects. I will say that I was very excited for this one just because you can't rank objects. Like
Yeah.
everyone's gonna have their own rankings, their different way of seeing things. I know what my last is. That's for doggone sure. All right, I got mine. I'm good to go. I'm just trusting my gut here. I'm just letting it flow.
Oh, 6.
Do I show the camera my list as like if you're actually watching this, you get a little head start of what I
I don't know. Okay, I have mine.
Here's the back. What's on the back? Oh, this is when we did the random times draft. See, if you're watching, you get to see what it looks like when we scribble stuff down. So there's your video perk of the day. But for number 6, what did you put?
I put, for the right reason, nail file.
Yes.
I've never used it, nor can I use it. I don't have fingernails, guys.
That is
I'm not-
a good point.
I'm not proud of it. I wish I had fingernails. I guess it's an addiction, but never had a nail file in my life.
I do have nails, but it is also number 6. Number 1 because I don't use them. I use nail clippers. And I always had a huge ick with nail files because one of my horrors is just someone torturing me by nail filing until there's no nail left, and then they keep going. That is one of my biggest. Anytime I think of a nail file, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. You just want to punch someone because it's terrible.
I got a pedicure maybe last year, and the very kind Chinese lady, I told her to go gentle on my pinky toes because I hate when people like clip my toes. I have to be the one clipping my toes. I hated when I was a kid and other people like my mom or grandma clip my toes. No, she was filing on my pinky toe so hard. It was the worst thing ever. It was terrible,
dude. By far, like when I think of an ick or just something that gets under your skin, that is by far my number one. Something about nail filing to the point where you have no nail left.
I've got a lot worse icks than that.
That one, for some reason, just thinking about that goes through my entire body. Yeah. It just does. But for number 5, you want me to go? You
can go. I shared 6.
6 was by far, or nail file was by far the worst.
I didn't have beef against nail file until you brought that up.
By far the worst. But 5 I have as balloon.
What?
Just because it is a singular balloon, and
a singular balloon is a little scary. Like you think
I just think of it popping and like hurting me.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really scared of that, but the rest of the things don't really have that negative aspect where a balloon could pop and hurt you.
Yeah, and a lot of kids can choke on balloons. So they're safety hazards, man.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, what's the purpose of a balloon? To celebrate. It does have a good vibe to it, but there's no real purpose to a balloon. You don't need a balloon for anything.
Well, I tell you what I don't need at my number 5. I don't need lipstick. I have lipstick at number 5. It's better than a nail file, but I don't use lipstick. It's not chapstick. It's lipstick.
I don't know. Yeah.
I've never had an experience with someone using lipstick. Yeah, it's a lipstick. It is what it is.
And I agree with you. That's why it's number 4. I don't know much
Oh,
about,
you have it at 4. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about, like, you have lipstick, you have lip gloss, you have, what's the other one? Chapstick. And I think they all kind of, there's like a gradient of how much of it is chapstick, and then it blends in the lip gloss, and then it blends in the lipstick.
Well, chap is to keep them chap.
Yeah, but I think lip gloss also does that.
Lip gloss.
But it's like a glossy look.
It makes them shiny, and lipstick is the color. It makes them red or pink or black.
Yeah. So I saw it based off of, like, obviously I don't have a use for it, and there's the negative of some people can abuse it. Like, you'll look like a clown, or you just don't look very... I'm not a big makeup person in terms of attractiveness, I guess. So for me, like, I'd prefer you don't wear lipstick, but I think it could look okay.
The only positive thing about lipstick is, I guess it's positive. I always thought it would have been cute if, like, my grandma kissed me on the cheek and her lipstick was on my cheek, like from SpongeBob. But that never happened.
Yeah, now that I think about it, lipstick could have more negatives to it than a balloon. Like, if you don't use lipstick right, it could be pretty dramatic.
The balloon just outweighs the lipstick in so many positives. But
that is true. But I got to stick to my list. Because at the end of the day, lipstick, I mean, hey, it's
okay. Next up, your number 4. Or I'll do my number 4. I have soap.
Soap at number 4.
Yeah.
You dirty piece of crap.
When it comes to a bar of soap, in what situation do you use a bar of soap?
You use liquid soap, don't you?
I use body wash.
Body wash, yeah. Liquid soap.
Yeah. Yes, I use liquid soap. Is that a problem?
I don't really have
We're
a
not in the
preference.
1940s anymore. You don't go in the shower. No.
I don't have a preference, but I'd say I'm 50-50.
Well, that's not even why I put the soap so low. If I think of a bar of soap, I think of 4-year-old Ethan thinking he was a tough cookie and saying a curse word. And my mom took me in the bathroom and she put a bar of soap in my mouth. Have you ever had to do that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
And honestly, a bar of soap isn't even that bad. Like, sure, it's just soap in your mouth, but I'd much rather have a bar of soap than like take a tablespoon of hot sauce or something.
Or like spanking.
But when I was a kid, that was the worst thing ever.
Just
Like,
the stigma.
I
to
didn't
it.
think I was gonna survive. Yeah.
Yeah, in a similar way of young torture, I was always scared of the spoon with like a random like hole in it. For some
Spoon
reason
with a
we
random
had like a
hole in
wooden
it.
spoon and it had a
like-
hole in the middle.
Like a spanking spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it was for. I don't know.
My parents were from the generation where they got spanked by the wooden spoon, but I've
I-
never gotten.
I didn't like after I was like in first grade. I never saw spanking.
Yeah.
But when I was in like preschool, I guess I did. I don't really remember a whole lot, but it probably served me right. Probably something I needed.
Credit where
but-
credit's due. I love the word soap. Soap.
See, the thing with it shows an image of a bar of soap, but at the end of the day, the object is soap. So that could mean a lot of things.
Yeah. I don't
Could be
know.
dish soap. Could be body wash is soap.
Body wash is body wash, just as face wash is face wash, not soap. That's why it said face wash, face wash, and it said
To
soap.
me, I wonder if that's like where Dairy Queen can't call their ice cream. If like
Oh, it's
body
a
wash isn't
milk
allowed to
product.
be called soap. I wonder. I doubt it, but maybe. I don't know.
You got to search up what is the difference between soap, body wash, and sanitizer, and disinfectant.
True.
So what's your number 4 then?
Well, lipstick was 4,
Okay.
so I'd be on 3,
What's your number 3?
which is glass.
That's what I had at number 3.
Yeah.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, growing up in like home, we don't even have glass.
Wow.
We use plastic cups. But
Yeah.
now that I'm more mature, I enjoy having a drink in like a 2008 Phillies World Series glass or like an Eagles glass.
That's the thing. It's about when you pair it with the drink. You can say, "Oh, I drink milk, I drink water." That's okay. But if you say like I had a glass of milk, that just brings so much more gravitas to the
That is true.
situation. Or it's 3 a.m. and I just went to the kitchen and had a glass of water. Like that, it just brings that punch. You need the glass to lift up the subject, you know?
Yeah. So would you say a plastic cup is a glass?
I wouldn't. I'd say
That's
that's
why.
a cup.
Yep, I
That's
agree.
a cup.
So you can't say you had a glass of milk if it's in a plastic cup.
Well, I would never put it in a plastic. I'd put it in a glass.
See, my parents were like, we're gonna drop and break them, so we get plastic cups.
I kind of had like a fear. I could only dunk my cookies in like glasses because I had to be able to see the milk. Like, 'cause if you're dunking an Oreo in a cup and you lose that Oreo, you don't know where it is. It's just sitting in the bottom, and you're just waiting for it to launch out and attack.
That makes me really
if-
hungry for Oreos.
If
now.
you have a glass of milk with your Oreos and you lose the
Yeah.
Oreo, you can see it at the bottom, so you
Yeah.
can anticipate.
No, you're right.
You can anticipate that Oreo coming back for you.
It's a good point. I never grew up with that luxury.
I know we're trying to watch our calories.
There were
We
times I
cannot be
lost the
eating that.
Oreo. There were times.
Yeah.
And it's just, then you start drinking the milk and there's just salt. Yeah, it's not a good time.
Yeah.
But number 2, that's where I had soap.
Okay.
Just because being clean is so important. You got to scrub them out. You got to be clean, man. That's like one of the most attractive things in someone else is they got to be clean. They got to be well taken care of. And that starts with soap.
Soap is cool, but for my number 2, instead of being with someone clean, I'd rather be with someone that has a balloon. And that's not true. I just said that to kind of segue into my number 2, but I have a balloon at number 2.
Yes.
Uh,
Which means we both have blanket at number 1, as it should be.
yeah. A couple notes about balloon first. I think positive thoughts about the balloon. I think of the fun times when you suck the helium in at a birthday party, your voice sounds high, and balloon volleyball in the living room goes hard. I don't know if you ever played it.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I would be entertained for hours just hitting a balloon up and down with my brothers. Enough about balloon, though. Blanket is our number 1.
Yeah. Blanket.
You hear that word, and you're in a state of comfort.
When I go to bed at night, I don't wear pajamas. I'm not wearing many clothes. I just need a blanket, man. I just need a blanket. No matter how hot it is. Look, the blanket is what comforts me when I sleep. That's what I need.
Blanket's good, man. Would you rather sleep with a pillow and no blanket, or a blanket,
Blanket,
and
no pillow. I can lay face down onto the mattress, but I need a blanket.
I don't know. I've
It's-
also
you
had a
need
bunch
both,
of
but-
sleepovers where I've slept on the carpet, and that's straight flat, no pillow. And I've had great nights of sleep. I don't know, though.
I've used the same pillow
If
and
it-
blanket.
If it's
for-
wintertime, you need the blanket.
Dude, I've had the same
It
pillow
keeps
and
you
blanket
alive.
forever. It's probably like my blanket and pillow are probably from like second grade.
That's
Well, they
kinda,
get washed, but
I
they're
feel
old
like
though.
even
My
including the
blankets,
wash, I think you might need to replace that.
they're just so comfy. I've tried other
Okay.
pillows. They just
Okay.
don't. They don't work.
I thought you got that memory foam pillow in like 9th grade.
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. I
Okay.
feel like I've tried other pillows and I somehow end
That's
up
why
with the same
pillows are
one.
frauds, and we're talking about blankets right now.
My blanket is from second grade. I love, dude. I don't have like the 5-year-old like blankie origin, but the blanket I have now, when I got that thing, because it's super thin, and I don't like a heavy blanket, so it's
Nothing
just
better than a homemade blanket too. A gift from a friend. You always get the homemade blanket. You never get the homemade pillow.
it's a good
but-
point. I don't think a homemade pillow would be very nice.
I have some and they're not comfy. They're
You
more
have
for-
homemade pillows?
Yeah, I have homemade pillows.
I've never heard of it. It's just like the one. Is it not like a sleeping pillow, like one you put on the couch? Is
Yeah,
like
yeah. But
okay,
it's
that
a
makes
pillow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking of bedtime now.
No, I'd rather sleep on a rock than with that homemade pillow. Yeah.
That's a good
It's
point.
not a good sleeping pillow.
But yeah, there you have it. There's ranking randomness, and that is episode 25.
We
So-
hit it hard for the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, you got 46 minutes worth of content.
And my dragon shirt.
Yeah, that's like 2 episodes combined in one. So there you have it. There's episode 25. Thank you for listening. God bless.
Thank you guys.